the temple in the United States of America in Washington, D.C. is this picture, this symbol. The ankh on the chest, the serpent around the neck, symbols of ancient Egypt. Freemasonry carries within its bosom the religion of ancient Egypt. The day that we were there were 2 lamps outside the front door of the temple in Washington. That doesn't look very clear. Is that very clear? Is that better? And what you'll see on this lamp, if you look very carefully, is the head of a goat. Some of you may want to move over this way so you can see this a little bit more clearly. If you don't believe that that's a goat, if you think it's something else, you might want to look at the bottom of the lampstand, because at the bottom, you see quite clearly, we have the hooves of a goat. The point being is, the Freemasons know that they're the goat. This map of Washington, D.C. delineates that Washington, D.C. was designed architecturally by Freemasonry, all with Masonic symbolism. Here is the rule and compass ending at the U.S. Capitol. The 2 legs are on the Washington Monument and the Jefferson Memorial. If I turn this way, you'll see that the House of the Temple, 13 blocks from the White House, is an inverted 5-pointed star with the tip of the pentagram directly on the White House. The Washington Monument is over here. We'll talk about that more. It's a point within a circle. This is a different picture, the real McCoy, and here you can actually see the top of the compass coming together in the circle up here by the cap. Now here is the Washington Monument. This is a little bit nondescript, but you know what the Washington Monument looks like, and every single patriotic picture that you see in this country, almost, has a picture of the Washington Monument in it. It's sort of a sign of American patriotism. Well, where does the Washington Monument come from? It's a copy of Cleopatra's Needle in Egypt. You see, basically what we're talking about is an Egyptian religion. I don't have this in an acetate form, but this is a Christmas card from Pat and Shelley Buchanan. And it says, "May all the joys of this holy season of Christmas be yours." Is it a picture of a stable? Is it a picture of the Christ child? Is it a snowy scene? Yes. A snowy scene with the Washington Monument wrapped in a ribbon. Now you ask yourselves the question. You can ask Pat if you'd like. But the question is, why would anybody send a Christmas card like that? Now the other thing that's interesting is, if you believe in symbolism, you know, in our magazines we've got lots of ads for things. Ads which cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. This particular ad was for psoriasis. But I had to take a double take at this picture. Someone spent a lot of money with this picture describing, does this have anything to do with psoriasis, these 2 pictures? The answer is absolutely no. But what the heck is this? What does this have to do with anything? Well, obviously, it's sun worship. Here's a man standing on the top of a mountain worshiping the sun. Now, if you go to Taco Bell, those little plastic or little paper things that they put on the pallets that you eat, they have the same thing there. Now, what do we know from Mackey's Masonic Ritualist, which is a Freemasonic book? He says, pages 62 and 63, the point within a circle is an interesting and important symbol in Freemasonry. I just showed you the Washington Monument. Surrounded by the pool, if you look at it from the air, is a point within a circle. This symbol, says Mackey, is beautiful, somewhat abstruse, and an allusion to sun worship, and introduces us for the first time to that modification of it known among the ancients as the worship of the phallus. The phallus was an imitation of the male generative organ. It was represented usually by a column, which was surrounded by a circle at its base, intended for the siez, or female generative organ. This union, well represented by the point within the circle, was intended by the ancients as a type of the prolific powers of nature. The God of nature, you will hear Freemasonry talk about. The Christian believes that's the God that created nature. Freemasons believe that this is a natural religion, the religion of man, guided by the principle, the male principle, the generative power of the universe. This is just something somebody happened to send me after we had a little conversation at lunch about Freemasonry. Something that came out of his paper. It was USA Today. And here's a picture of Gerald Ford, Roy Clark, Ernest Borgnine, Buzz Aldrin, Glenn Ford, the actor, showing that they're all Shriners. This is a picture of Time, February 17, 1986, with another interesting person in a Masonic pose. His name is Pat Robertson. This is from Newsweek, August 19, 1996. There's a very small picture in here that says sparring partners, as if there's a fight going on. And it has pictures of George Bush, Pat Robertson, Jack Kemp, and Bob Dole, and another man that I don't know. One of you may be able to tell me who he is. The point is, they're all Freemasons. There's no sparring going on here at all. Here is a picture of Pat Robertson, hand in hand, with Yasser Arafat. I thought Yasser Arafat was a terrorist. I guess he's no longer a terrorist. Someone gave me this after speaking on Freemasonry in Florida. This is from a legal document in Florida. Future state buildings. Masons of Florida authorized to design and lay cornerstones without objection. The board adopted the following resolution. Whereas it has been the custom and practice of the Masonic fraternity from time immemorial upon due invitation to lay the foundation stones of public edifices and monuments. The foundation or cornerstone of our nation's capital was laid by George Washington at the time he was Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Virginia. Whereas our Capitol building presently has 3 stones laid by the Masonic fraternity, one in the northeast corner of the center structure and the other 2 on the northeast corner of the east wing of the Capitol complex. Now therefore be it resolved by the Florida Cabinet, now sitting as the Department of General Services, proclaim and instruct that all future state buildings have a cornerstone provided by the state, and that the Most Worshipful Grand Lodge, Free and Accepted Masons of Florida, whose office is located at 220 Ocean Street in the city of Jacksonville, Florida, through J. Edwin Larson Lodge, number 361, Free and Accepted Masons of Tallahassee, Florida, be invited to design and lay these cornerstones according to their custom and practice. Be it further resolved that the 2 legislative wings now under construction be specifically included in this resolution, and immediate plans be made for their cornerstones. Be it further resolved that copies of this resolution be sent to the Most Worshipful Grand Lodge, adopted this 28th day of July, 1970. Signed by the Governor, Secretary of State, Attorney General, Comptroller, Treasurer, Commissioner of Education, and Commissioner of Agriculture. End of quote of Florida Cabinet Minutes. This is a picture of Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela is a communist. Nelson Mandela, according to a friend of mine who's from Africa, is also a 33rd degree Freemason.